Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's review of Amazing Race.
Wow, last time in the Amazing Race, Jason and Lorena went home.
They were, what's it called? U-turned and sent packing.
Baby, we got U-turned!
Baby,
Wow.
there's no more milk!
Wow, so the first to arrive last time is the first to depart this time, and that
Azaria
would be...
Hendekea.
Right.
How familiar.
I know. They have to fly to Vilnius, Lithuania. And wow, that's going to be a trip.
Yeah.
And once they get there, they have to drive to St. Anne's Church to get the next clue.
And they have to book
Right, their
tickets
reservations
or
at
whatever.
the airport.
Yeah.
From an airline
You
person,
can't
not on the
do
internet.
it on the internet.
Right, so Kynt always wanted to see some place with spooky architecture.
Like Transylvania.
Okay, so Ron and Christina, kids, you need to work it out. You need to make it work.
Yeah. Ron, listen to your daughter. She has more common sense than you do.
Don't F with the ticket lady. That's why you get the later flights. If
Didn't
you're
he,
nice.
like, diss someone else a couple weeks ago for doing that?
Kind of.
He, like, called him out, being like,
I
don't
thought
be
that
all
was
rude.
Nate or something. Or was it Grandpa and Fetus?
No, Ronald called someone out.
Yeah, I thought it was Grandpa and Fetus
I don't remember who
that he
it was.
called out. So, you know what? Grandpa and Fetus, speaking of them...
Nicholas Fetus.
Yes, Nick the Fetus, were really trying to be sneaky and, like, secretive and everything.
They were like, put them on later flights. But they said it's
We're
so loud.
standing
everyone
right
heard it.
here. You know what, Nick the Fetus? Karma's a bitch.
Mm.
She'll give to you with one hand and slap you and take it right back with the other. So don't cross karma. That's right, and that's exactly what happened. They lost their flight because that lady was not having any of their business. And you know what? It went to somebody else.
Yep.
Blah.
Azaria
Thank you. So, so the Barbies are being catty to each other and everyone else.
Yeah, they're still talking about, oh, we shouldn't have used the U-turn.
Well, one's saying we shouldn't
yeah,
use
the other
the
one's like,
U-turn.
get over it.
Yeah, please. So they're on all the same flight to Paris, but then at Paris they break off into 3 different flights, arriving I think at 1:25,
1:35.
and 2:10.
Yeah.
That was Ronald and Christina, because they thought they had the best flight, and it turns out they had the worst, because they were bitches.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Excellent. So when they get there, it's
time
a
for the
roadblock. That's right.
And one person has to be a Lithuanian Messenger.
Right. They're going to pick up a little card from an old lady.
No, wait. They got a gift, and she
Right.
showed them a card,
Oh, okay.
but they had to remember it because it was like, which one of you is a good listener or something.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
So they told them a name of a person, and they had to go to this like college square thing or something
Right.
and find that person and give it to them.
It wasn't that easy.
No.
And then once they got there, they got another one to deliver. I think it was a book.
Yeah.
And they had to deliver the book to that person, and then they were done. So yeah, when did Kynt become British?
I don't know. He was saying everything with this weird accent. I don't even know if it was British. It was just like foreign.
Yeah,
It was an everything accent.
It was great, but
It was hilarious.
Grandpa and Nick the Fetus were actually the first ones to arrive at the roadblock.
But Kent was the first to finish.
That's right. And actually, Grandpa and the Fetus were the last to finish the roadblock. But the Barbies on the way there, they started arguing, and like nobody else exists in the world, so they backed the car up, and they almost
They almost got hit by a bus.
They almost got T-boned. How about
Ouch.
that? It's a good thing she put that into drive as fast as
She's
she
like,
did,
"Ah!"
because they would have bought it. Let me tell you. So, the next clue after you finish the roadblock is that you have to drive to blah 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 blah.
Louis Laudier's.
It's a museum.
Museum.
It's a museum, and then they have to follow the road to the Dirky Village.
I'm sorry if we're offending any Lithuanians out there.
That's a tough language, let me tell you. That's why they don't offer that in high school.
No.
Not in this country, anyway. So, the Barbies are in last place now.
Yeah.
And They are just making it to the roadblock as Grandpa and Nick the fetus
So
are
actually,
struggling.
Grandpa and Nick the fetus are in last. And
Right.
they're right behind the Barbies.
Right. So, since Lithuania is the land of gnomes, and I did
Okay.
not know this,
I didn't either.
they put like 100 gnomes out, and they had to find the one that matched the one on their clue.
Everyone had the Travelocity gnome.
Right.
They had to find that gnome
I know.
and bring him all the way back.
So, Kynt and Vixen found their gnome first.
Yep.
So they got to go to the Detour. And let me tell you, the Detour was a freaky festival. I think it was the Festival of Freaks.
Yeah. You could either count down or step up.
Right.
Countdown, you had to count like 717 pickets on a fence.
And then the stilt walk was the step up one, and you had to walk, I don't know how far it was, but
was
you
pretty
couldn't
far.
fall. You couldn't fall.
If you fell, you had to go back to the beginning. And the whole time you're doing either one of these challenges, the people at the festival are like harassing you.
I know.
They're like,
It wasn't bad in the beginning, but
Then
the
they got
longer,
crazy.
yeah, the longer it went on, the more belligerent they became.
Yeah.
So everybody basically was like, "Oh wow, stilt sounds fun." So
Kynt
it
and
wasn't
Vixen
that
couldn't
fun,
do it, so they switched to the pickets.
right? And TK and Rachel were actually pretty good. They were the
They
first
were the
ones
first
to finish.
and they did the stilts.
Yeah. And the next clue after you finish your little detour is you got to go to, and they had the name of it. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Something windmill.
It's a windmill. And it's the next pit stop in the race. And Phil's waiting there with some Lithuanian person.
So TK and Rachel were the first to arrive.
Yeah,
and they won a 10-day trip for two
to Japan.
They got to go to like, well, they will get to go to like Mount Fuji. And, like,
Hanashimasu.
oh my gosh.
I'm studying Japanese now. I'm so excited for them. Because I'm not going. Okay, so...
And then Kynt and Vixen were a close number 2.
Alright, Nate and Jennifer. I think they actually did the stilts first. No, they did the pickets first.
They did the pickets, and then she skipped 10, and they showed it. She went from 89 to like 100.
But she couldn't figure out what she did wrong. But you
So
know...
then they were like, I can't do it.
No, but first they got really possessed.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they were telling the village people to shut up and
The
everything.
village people.
I thought they were going to deck one of them. Nate was just, YMCA. Nate was just like, shut up!
Shut up!
What's wrong with
Try
you?
to count.
I'm good. No! Let's do the stilts! So then they did the stilts, and every time she fell, she went, ah!
She's like, no!
Yeah. Which was even more scary than the pickets. And then Ronald, oh my god.
Ugh.
He
He
took
was-
a bad spill.
Before the challenge, he was like, oh yeah, I have such great balance. And he fell
Yeah.
like 5,000 times.
Yeah, but then he fell, and I thought he like broke his knee or something, but he was like, oh, my hernia. Oh, okay, it's back in.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a knee thing.
He was like exhausted, but he finally finished, thank God.
Yeah.
So they were the third team to arrive, Ronald and Christina.
And then Azaria and Hendekea were team number 4.
Right? Nate and Jen, we told you, switched tasks, and they finished pretty quick.
They came in 5th.
Yep. And then Nick the fetus and Grandpa. Oh, you know they're not doing the stilts. You know it. Because, Grandpa would need a step ladder just to get up to the bottom of the stilt there. So they did the counting, and they came in 6th place.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah. And then Shayna and
Thank
Jennifer,
God. Last place. You've been eliminated.
But the most disgusting thing was at the end with that little troll, the shorter one. I don't know. I guess that's Jennifer.
I have no idea what their names were, and I don't
Because
care.
I don't care. So she was like, we have a different life. We get manicures and pedicures, and we're better than you all.
What does that
and we
have
don't
to do
need
with
you.
anything? What is wrong with you?
Gives a crap.
Why would they put that in their goodbye message? I don't get that.
Because this is them. We're stuck up. So, yeah, we hate you, Shayna and Jennifer.
Next week,
basically.
things are going to get a little crazy.
It's going to heat up.
Azaria loses his patience with Hendekea.
And Nate and Jen reach their breaking point.
They haven't already? How much worse can it get?
I hate you. I hate you.
hate you.
I hate you with a passion. I hate you. But you know what? We love you. Till next time, kids. Much love.